Do you ever think that you may be the fastest driver in the world?
I'm thinking quite often about it, how you could judge who is the fastest driver in the world. You need to create a new championship with different cars and different racing formats. Then you kind of have the best overall driver.
But if we had to create a competition where the top drivers could challenge you, and there's 4 disciplines, what would they be? This is super exciting. You will want to see this here with Pascal Wehrlein. You're a world champion.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel?
It feels great. It gives you a bit more quietness in the off-season. Not so many regrets, what you think you could have done different to win the championship. Not so many thoughts about that. On one side, it was a bit more quiet, the off-season. On the other side, the team kept me super busy with appointments, PR, marketing, sponsors, and so on. So it was a great thing to do.
Everyone wants to speak with you, which is a good thing. That last race in London, the last round, your surge, what happened in Portland, losing your wing, but then finishing the race, scoring important points. In those moments, do you lock in, or are you very aware of everything? Do you think about bad outcomes, or do you only think how I'm going to maximize the situation?
No, it's about maximizing the situation. So obviously it would have been very easy to give up in Portland, where the front wing got stuck under my car. Actually, in both races, in the first race, I hit some debris which destroyed my front wing, and in the second race I made contact and the front wing went under my car, but luckily another contact then made the front wing disappear, and I was in P18. So at that situation would have been easy to give up, but we never give up, and I've managed to come from all the way P18 to P4, which was 12 points, and it was crucial points.
I think one of the most incredible things for fans to watch that journey, especially your supporters, the kind of highs and the lows for them watching, and it was incredible. You're the youngest ever DTM champion. I've said you had an incredible F1 career, not driving for the teams with the biggest budgets, but driving these cars out of their expected performance. Now a Formula E world champion. Do you ever think that you may be the fastest driver in the world?
I'm thinking quite often about it, how you could judge who is the fastest driver in the world, because we are all specialists in our category. When I was racing in DTM, it's a touring car. It behaves very different compared to a Formula 1 car. And again, a Formula E car behaves very different compared to an F1 and DTM car. And it's interesting that you asked me that, because I think you could only judge the best driver really in the world across different competition. It's almost like you need to create a new championship with different cars and different racing formats, and then you kind of have the best overall driver, you know what I mean? I would probably even include rally driving, because it's racing, but it's very different to what we are doing. Otherwise it would be hard to judge, because every driver is such a specialist in the category he's racing in.
Okay, let's run with that. So if we had rankings like boxing, you're my number 1 at the top in the ranking, you. But if we had to create a competition where the top drivers could challenge you, and there's 4 disciplines, what would they be?
Formula E, Formula 1, touring car, might be either DTM, endurance racing, NASCAR, V8 supercars, super talented drivers there also, and I would probably go with rally.
Okay.
Sorry, I need to include one more. I would probably need to include IndyCar as well.
Okay.
I think very talented drivers there also.
Would you ever do the Indy 500s?
Never say never.
Speaking, I'm loving this, because LMDH, Porsche 963. You're a factory Porsche driver. Does that interest you? Those kind of cars? We saw that you've been in America.
It will definitely be one of my goals in the future to race in Le Mans, to race endurance racing. I really want to win Le Mans one day. That's on my a big topic on my list. Then hopefully one day I can say I've won DTM, Formula E and Le Mans, which I think then it feels like I made the most out of my career, how everything went. At the moment, my focus is purely on Formula E, and obviously it's a very happy place for me. I really enjoy it. Last year has been the best year for me in terms of enjoyment, the relationship with the team, the package we have. I feel so happy in terms of my racing driver career and also in my private life. And that situation is not is never guaranteed. In racing, a racing driver is always the material and the package he has always depends a lot on how he's doing and on the results. So being in a situation now to win races, to win championships, that's a situation I worked for really hard for many years. And yeah, therefore I'm very happy to attack again with my team the new season and try to defend the championship.
And is having that balance important? Like, you could spend more time in the simulator, more time at the factory, but you also want to spend time with your family, and that's a complete Pascal. Is that important, like maintaining that balance, and that's the strongest version of Pascal?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, some drivers, they need to be at the racetrack every weekend. I also love racing. I love racing cars, don't get me wrong. But, you know, being a father, I also want to be the best father I can be. And if you are every weekend at the racetrack, and I think you cannot be the best dad. And yeah, it's definitely also some thoughts, but I think the bigger thing is that you can't do 2 programs 100%. So there are some clashes in the races. There are some clashes. There will be some clashes in testing and so on. In terms of preparation, you might need to skip some simulator sessions and so on, which would prepare you for the race. So 2 programs in parallel, 100% is not working. But yeah, you know, a couple of races is not a full season. That might work.
Okay. Well, I think you're going to be very quick in it. I just want to turn to your fans, because we've made so many videos about you this season, starting in Mexico and all the way through the season, saying, you know, you are one of the fastest drivers, well, maybe the fastest driver. And the comment sections have been crazy. People coming out and saying, yes, Pascal is. Some people saying, oh, Max Verstappen must be fastest. But you have incredible fans defending you who have followed your journey. Do you have any messages for your fans who've supported you, and kind of we're in this Pascal age now where you are a Formula World champion? Anything you want to say to them?
And first of all, thank you very much for your support and for believing in me and supporting me and cheering for me in the good moments, but also in the bad moments. I would say the bad moments, that's even more important, you know, to get the support there from no matter who, from the team, from your family, from the fans. Yeah, to support you really in the tougher times, because it's easy to support someone when everything is going well. I completely understand, like what you said, that some fans think like they have their favorite driver. This is the fastest driver. This is the fastest driver. Like I say, honestly, I believe it's only possible if we would create something different, something new with many different disciplines and different cars. But yeah, certainly we proved last season that we are a very strong package. And yeah, that year has been fantastic. I just turned 30 now. I have another couple of good years ahead of me, and I try to make the most out of it. And yeah, I hope you follow the journey.
Okay, a few very quick fire questions. If nothing comes to your head, don't worry about it. But we're asking a few drivers. Favorite karting circuits?
Parma.
Oh.
It was a high-speed track, very technical, and you had to ride over some curbs super heavily, which when you got the curb perfectly, the kart was taking it nicely and you were super fast. If you took the curb wrong, it felt like you fly.
Favorite overtaking move? And you did a lot last season.
It was definitely London on Mitch. In turn 1. For the overtake, yeah, it was a nice overtake, but also the whole circumstances, because we really needed that race win. It was a lot of pressure. It was, yeah, kind of a weekend all or nothing. And yeah, we grabbed the chances, and it felt like a great relief afterwards.
It was incredible. We were in the grandstands.
I heard you guys.
Yeah.
In the grandstands.
Well, that was probably Castor. But we could hear people up standing because your story and the drama was absolutely crazy, and my heart was going up and down. But I always feel so bad because we take so much of your time. People loved your tennis tape on the steering wheel and the small things that you do in the car and your mentality. A lot of people, you are their favorite driver. So
thank you very much.
it's always a pleasure to spend time with you.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck.